identifier, agile extender. That escape artist is going to be huge. Look for him to really get busy with his legs. With these wide receivers coming up, he's going to have this Torrey Holt. He's going to have this John Ross, these abilities to help the route running and catching and in traffic. It's going to be huge for him. And on defense, all he has is that Ed Reed secure tackler, which is still huge. He's going to be able to wrap up. And on offense, he's going to be running that West Coast bunch. And on defense, the Miami Dolphins.
Up against 19-year-old Daniel Mycroft, who yesterday survived Madden Challenge champion Noah 10-3 to win 10 grand. So up and up he comes in the community. Let's check out his abilities. What do you like, Skimp?
Well, this Aaron Rodgers, not only does he have these abilities, escape artist, fearless identifier, the reason why he chooses him is because he has one of the fastest releases in the game. So that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to get that ball out of his hand quick. He's got this John Ross with a slot apprentice to run 4 additional routes. The big thing you need to pay attention to is this center. He's going to be able to help him buy a lot of time, and that Frank Clark. That Frank Clark's got to be big for him today on defense. And with his playbooks, he's going to be running the New England Patriots. It's very unique. It's something special. He does. And then on defense, the Green Bay Packers.
Chill. And we mentioned even though he loves those Tampa Bay Bucks, loyalty is out the window. You build the perfect roster. You don't have time to mess around with loyalty. He's got the defense set. Great card to play in Madden this year. CJ2K is from Orlando, just like EA Sports. And Tyreek Hill on the field here. He's slot to the left and in motion now. Both these guys will look to put it in the air today. And sure enough, here's Aaron Rodgers trying to step into one. He'll take off.
Aaron Rodgers to pick up about 12 to 14 yards.
DCroft, the big Seahawks fan. Weird that he's got Aaron Rodgers as his QB, but it's been working for him.
The whole entire offensive line better. They're going to be able to hold blocks a lot better when people are blocked. However, if the heat comes in and you can't block it, too bad. But if they block someone, they're going to be able to hold it for a long period of time.
DCroft, undefeated run in the last chance qualifying event. He beat 4 club champions, and then Jay Wall, a great player, twice along the way. This one ladled out. One of his guys in real life.
That's awesome. And look at him. He's disguising a blitz every time. Look how many people are lined up at the line of scrimmage for the defensive side. He's showing blitz every time. But watch, sometimes those slot corners drop back and sometimes they come.
Towards the end zone. Got his man, Tyreek Hill.
What a play. I'm telling you, when you go against this formation of DCroft, you don't get a lot of reps first hit. He barely got out of groups, but you knew once he got single limbs, he was going to make a run like this.
Now he has revved the motor now, and he's got Michael Vick loaded with abilities here. Agile extender, escape artist, hot route master, identifier. So that's one of the best Madden players ever, and he is piled high with treats here. #1 pick of the 2001 draft, Michael Vick. And the lefty looking. With time, flings it. Kellen Winslow's been a big player for a lot of guys in this tournament. Move those chains.
If you're at home, really pay attention to these route combinations Cleff has going if he shows it. He's using that hot route master by Vic. That means he can put any wide receiver tight end on any route on the field. He's looking for flood concepts along with bomb posts.
Jalen Samuels, his running back, seldom ever needs to use him. You can always run with Vic. Although that time DCroft trying to be the latest teenager to make it into the final round. There's been a real run of that in Madden play over the last several tournaments. Michael Vick back for 24-year-old CleffTheGod.
Frank Clark with that star on him. Just take a look at what he does on this play. He's going to be fighting like crazy with that power specialist to get after Michael Vick.
DCroft added to him just for this tournament, but Vick finds the same. He'll take off and get that score yesterday. And a very defensive-themed Madden right now was 12-7. Looking for 7 here. #7, Michael Vick. Firing.
No, it's are big, but you cannot force a pick. He's done this in numerous games. When you get down here, he has to play smarter.
Yeah, Cleff has turned it over 5 times in this tournament already. And again, not only did he start 1-2, one of those losses was 31-3. That to Noah, the guy that knocked him out in the finals of a tournament played just a few months ago. From the 19, Michael Vick in trouble. And taking off.
In the corner of the end zone, but that's what I'm talking about. Now he's trying to play safe and just taking what's there, and this is a manageable 3rd and 2.
Cleff's got a great offensive mind. He played at Fullerton College in California. Former Tampa Bay quarterback Steve DeBerg, way back in the day, came out of there. DeBerg, a quarterback for the Bucs in the mid-'80s. Not quite as good as the guy they got coming in. Vic, looking, gets the block, takes off, first down.
For him, and then for DCroft, obviously, it's been Aaron Rodgers.
DCroft has had that retina-burning defense all tournament. DCroft, something that my partner Michael Skimbo knows very well, helping him to 3 belts.
4 to 5 years have been what Cleff's running, that shotgun bunch. And the reason why I believe DCroft's making such a great run is everything's just so unique. The formation, the motions, the route combos, you just don't see it every day.
Late first quarter and Rodgers back. Fans, he ended his interview with us at 4 Pacific time yesterday and was prepping for CleffTheGod at 4:03. Pausing only to tweet that one time about how he's got to finish. If he wins this game, he's got a touchdown or me! No, it's taken away by Sweet Feet, Denzel Ward. So back now goes DCroft on defense in a 7-7 tie underway in the second quarter. And Vic getting harassed. Going backwards, and God downfield and into a final. It's funny seeing Michael Vick as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, isn't it? Tampa Bay hasn't always had the best QB. They got a great one coming in. That ball knocked away in a year and a half. So on a 3rd down and 10, remember Cleff is a guy who's built to throw. And he will throw. A dart to 10 to go in this second quarter. Our next game, you're going to be watching a Pavin and Joke. That's a rematch of a game that was played just about a week ago that went right down to the wire. Pocket collapsing, and we'll jump in and pick up some of the color commentary for us. But that Frank Clark card being used by essentially half the field of 16 as this tournament began. And it seems like every single player that's used that Frank Clark, some dividends have been paid off. And
about that Michael Vick, so he's having to stay stationary, and it's causing a bunch of trouble, and you see it right here again.
4th and forever, and you talk about the adjustment that was made coming out of the LCQs. Frank Clark was not on DCroft's team, but he picked him up almost immediately. Picked up Ed Reed as well. That's pretty good. What a tremendous addition here as we stay tied up for an end.
Drives that first drive, but DCroft looks really, really locked in on defense. I could sense, I could see that being some trouble for Cleff going forward.
This is 99 runs for Joke. Pavin, meantime, will be flinging it all around. In this one, it's exactly what we thought. Even Steven, 2 great young players here. And Rodgers. You see that Denzel Ward being brought up here. Yeah, I got that. Unleash the Hounds look right now, doesn't he? And CleffTheGod, who's actually an offensive mind first. Yeah, he's got Ed Reed dropping back now, too. Son of an offensive coordinator, but Tyreek Hill and Kellen Winslow have traded touchdowns in this one. Josh Lewin, Serious Mo along with you, efforting to get Michael Skimbo back as well. Rodgers
forced DCroft to throw the ball away a few times, kind of get repetitive on offense, and that's working to Cleff's advantage.
You take a shot downfield, go over the top. Gonna try.
That's what he's doing.
Got a shot out of him.
Preached all week. He would really like to see DCroft with some more abilities on his receivers, and that right there cost him. That was 7 points if he has that streak specialist.
He's got the cross specialist on Ross, but nothing else. That one tipped. That one, it should have been picked. Now, both these guys have talked a lot already. We anticipated that. And again, because we're all sheltered at home, they're an audience of one. They're talking to themselves.
So he would have been able to make that field goal. I can't believe he didn't elect to kick the field goal.
Probably just trying to pin him at the 1, but instead it went wobbling into the end zone. And another inside the 10, but with that last play, it is now back at the 10 on a 2nd and 20. Semi-final action here. Madden Bowl. And again, you've got Pavin and Joke coming up next. And escapes. Boy, bumped into his own man. Trading paint and see what happened.
And you know, that's the beautiful thing about group stage. It's kind of like a second life. You can afford to play a bad game. I think Cleff's going to take a shot right here.
DCroft had an 8-sack game a couple days ago. Sometimes Cleff does have a tough time protecting, even though he's got that agile Michael Vick. Good call there, CJ2K. Talk about Joke not having one yet. He's been at it a lot longer than Cleff. Cleff is kind of a rising star here, and everybody in the community seems to think it's just a matter of time. Is this his time today?
Missed some reads, and I think he's depending on that check and release route just a little bit too much.
Only one big play in his win yesterday. He went deep and scored.
Strange as it sounds, that Kellen Winslow is probably the second worst offensive player on the team behind that Jalen Samuels. But I think he's going to have to be the key to this game. That's who he's going to have to be getting open.
No one open yet, and Vic left it on the carpet. Clark picks it up. Frank the Tank. He's going to the crib. Go back to that last play. What do you see?
I just see this. First of all, that's great stick work by. He could have easily blitzed with Shazier with his user. Instead, he elected just wait. You know, he didn't want to let Mike Vick have some space across the line of scrimmage.
Well, when you watch those replays, he's the most polite kid you'd ever want to talk to. 23 hours and 30 minutes out of the day, but these 30 minutes of Madden, he is a tiger underneath. There's Torrey Holt for closing 24-21. Has he learned from that? He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to let this one get away from him right now.
Used against him, and it just hasn't worked out for them.
That was a crazy game. DCroft had a 99-yard touchdown to Marquise Brown. Win on the guys or not, and it's your own stick work. And I don't know how you feel about it, Mo. Which of those three is the most important element? But these guys blend all those things. So
maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I think stick work normally prevails in the end. But for these guys, it may have to kick a field goal.
Just don't take a sack, right? Because you need at least those 3 points.
And I don't like this route combination. He's sending everybody down the field. Maybe Kellen Winslow on this flat route will get open, but I do not see he's sending everybody out.
Vic takes off.
Here, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, but we're going to see him drop back and pass.
You don't think about taking the points and trusting your defense? You like going for it?
Oh my God!
Remember, Cleff, the son of an offensive coordinator, great offensive mind. He's got Michael Vick stepping out of it, and
I think on second down, we're probably going to see him go with the fullback dive, and if it gets some positive yards, I wouldn't be surprised to see actual no huddle, you know, trying to just squeeze it in. But if you get in a passing situation, we're probably going to see a mesh post concept with the running back out on a wheel route. But he wants to get yards right here on this fullback dive. We're going to see another fullback dive.
That was Daniil Hunter that shot the gap last time. That DCroft defense has been one of the stories of this tournament. And here we are in the 4th quarter of our first semifinal. Wins in Fullerton College before getting hurt. This is how he competes now. He's a Madden professional. Was an assistant coach at his high school. Now he's doing this full time. And with time, Michael Vick. Buying time.
It's so much easier to get 7. He's still going to have to drop back and pass the ball. That's the only scary part. The field is shrunk so small.
Pass game has been in airplane mode all day for Cleff. What does he have here? He's got
out the tight end and running back on right here.
Yeah, Cleff's a baller on a budget when it comes to running backs and tight ends. He's got to get these wide receivers involved. That's Ross to the right, Cribbs to the left, with
free
a
play
down.
Free play.
Yeah, but it's knocked down.
Let me get the free play.
Yeah, you wanted more than that on a free play.
Offsides. I did not touch that guy. That is literally a CPU offsides that the game made me go offside. I want that review. I literally did not touch it.
Do you hear DCroft there?
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a fighting argument here. I mean, your guy's offsides. Cleff would have never just thrown that ball. Your guy's offsides is a free play. Everybody knows that. Everybody's going to take advantage of that. So, you know, he's going to argue, but I wouldn't be. We're going to see a 3rd and 4 from the 4-yard line.
Why? I never touched him.
And it is a 3rd and goal for now at the 4-yard line. First of our 2 semifinals.
Madden straight up, bro. You have that.
And thanks again for jumping in and joining us here.
Oh
Michael
my
Vick
God,
to the end zone. Almost picked. That would have been ball game. And again, you don't take the points and trust your D, right? You're going for the tie here. You're okay with that?
You know, I wouldn't mind kicking the field goal here, just because even if you don't get it, you have your opponent trapped down at the 4-yard line. But you know, the Cleff feels like he's not comfortable giving the ball back, so he's got to go get 7 here, and I don't mind the call either way.
Here we go, Michael Vick
Let's
to
go!
the end zone,
And that's as unlucky as in Madden as you can get. That was a wide open pass.
You make a stop here. I think Cleff is still in pretty good shape.
And I don't love the timeout there by Cleff. If DCroft play lasts for longer than 5 seconds, that timeout there was no point in calling it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Cleff send 7 people here right here.
Rogers setting his feet. Looking for a 93-yard bomb. Marquise Brown, Hollywood, touchdown! The defense has carried him, but here's some offense, Mo.
Yeah, he sent a little bit of pressure, but it wasn't going to get there. Only sent 4 guys. DCroft had all day, left 7 in, max protect, and the streak just wide open. No coverage there at all.
Hooray for Hollywood. 21-7 game, and there's so much speed on that team for DCroft. Guys that ran at sub-4.3 40s at the NFL Combine all over his roster, to a cast that you were on not too long ago, the club championship game for the Seahawks. DCroft said he heard you say out loud that he needed to be more aggressive. There's an aggressive was DCroft moments ago, airing it out from the shadow of his end zone, 93 yards.
It's about as aggressive as you're going to get. Oh, he had the corner route.
Very important to keep some timeouts and obviously punch it in the end zone ASAP. Only 1 touchdown. Remember, DCroft had to win the last chance qualifier just to be here. He's 118 away from a title. This is kind of it for CleffTheGod. Got to score very quickly now. Again, next up, Pavin against Joe. Vic hits half of those, literally, to number 55, double nickels Frank Clark.
And for DCroft, just getting in the backfield every single play.
Yeah, sacks are 11-0 in favor of DCroft. Do we hear? Very exciting times, obviously, for DCroft as we continue to tout the young guns in Madden. 5 of the last 6 tournaments, there has been a teenager in a final game, and it sure looks like we're going to add to that. 19-year-old Daniel Mycroft. If he makes this stop, he wins. All day, Michael Vick on the run towards the end zone. Thumped on the ground. Laquan Treadwell locks it up for DCroft. And DCroft, who kept saying just win the next one when he was winning a couple days ago, he'll get a next one. He is on to the finals in Serious Mo, even though Cleff was very, very good. He just couldn't shake that great defense of DCroft.
Yeah, there was nothing Cleff could do on the offensive side of the ball. You know, I loved what DCroft's game plan was. I think Cleff knew what his game plan was. He just wasn't able to execute.